So the first thing we have to do on this problem, of course, is graph it. So pause the video and graph. So there's my graph. F of x is the blue curve, and g of x is the orange curve. And I'm looking for the area shaded between them. So notice I've colored that in green. And if I look at where they intersect, it's nothing more than the intercepts of the original graph, which you can see I found from factoring that original graph. I actually didn't even really necessarily need to know what these y values were or where those max and mins occurred, but I figured since I knew a little bit of calculus, I might as well actually take the first derivative, and then I can find the min and the max, because I knew you would be all impressed at how much calculus I knew, not. Okay, so now, again, I still want to use the same strategy, which is I'm going to take the integral of the upper curve minus the lower curve. But I want you to notice on this one that that changes as I move along the graph. So in the beginning, the upper curve is f of x, but once I get to 0, 0, then the upper curve is g of x. So I'm going to need to split this and do two separate pieces. So from -1 to 0, my upper curve is f of x, and I would subtract g of x. And then I'll add the new piece, which is from 0 to 1, and now the upper curve is g of x, the orange, and the lower curve is f of x. Okay, so I want you to pause the video and see if you can get all of that calculated out. Get it? Calculate. Calculus time. So funny. So now notice in this beginning piece from -1 to 0, f of x was the upper and g of x was the lower. And then when I get to the second piece, g of x is the upper and f of x is the lower. And so I can simplify this first piece to just 3x cubed minus 3x. That'll be a lot easier to integrate. And the second one I can simplify to -3x cubed plus 3x. And that'll be a lot easier to integrate. All right, so go ahead and finish the integration and see if you can get the area for value. So check all your careless math mistakes. We know what you're like when I let you loose with a bunch of fractions. Hopefully you got to your final answer, which was 3/2. Okay, on to the next problem.